Okay, I need you to stay with me for a second because this is going to sound absolutely ridiculous. There is a moment in this movie, a Netflix animated film about talking. African animals and a tiny blue alien where a father looks at his son and you can see clearly. Unmistakably, the exact moment he realizes he never actually knew his own child. Not who his child was pretending to be. Who his child actually was. I've watched that moment in real life, between real people in real rooms. It's in a movie about a monkey and an elephant and an alien named Fenep. Just captured it better than I've seen it captured anywhere else. So here's the world. In a jungle isolated in the African plains lives a group of animals: Monkey, the bold, adventurous monkey; Trunk, the big-hearted elephant; Rocky, the dog-like rhino; Talbert, the earnest and awkward giraffe; Wump, the grumpy hedgehog who is very protective over his property; Ribbert, the lazy frog; and Ray, the firefly. Disney Plus. They live their jungle life. Warm, chaotic, full of the specific, comfortable noise of creatures who know each other completely. And then one morning, the animals of the jungle wake up to discover that they can speak. They're even more amazed when they learn the reason why. There's an alien in the jungle. Rotten Tomatoes, a rubbery little blue creature named Fenep, too shy and embarrassed to admit that he's been sent by the people of Skaldra to conquer Earth. IMDb, he crashed his ship. He's alone. He's homesick. And he is by every measurable standard the worst conqueror in the entire history of his empire. And the animals, bless them, are so immediately, so completely, so utterly warm toward this strange, frightened little creature that just to be helpful, they immediately agree to be conquered. I love them for that, eh? I genuinely love them for that. Here's what the movie is really about underneath all the color and the comedy and the alien tech. Fenipe is an unusually peaceful Skaldronian, making him a bit of a failure in his own world. IMDb, his father Gragon, is the captain of the Skaldronian Empire. A large, blustery conqueror who built his whole identity around power and domination and the expansion of territory. A man, an alien, who decided that strength was the only language worth speaking and raised his son in that vocabulary. And Fenep never fit it, never wanted to conquer anything, never wanted to frighten anyone. Just wanted, in the way of gentle creatures everywhere, to go home, to be somewhere safe, to maybe, possibly, have a friend. I know that feeling. Not the alien part, obviously, but the part where you grow up in the shadow of someone who is very certain about what strength looks like, and you are very clearly a different shape than that certainty expects. The animals give Fenep something his entire world never did. They give him a place where being gentle is not a failure, where being kind is not weakness, where showing up soft and uncertain and a little bit lost is met not with disappointment, but with a monkey putting his arm around you and saying essentially, "You're one of us now," whatever that means. Come on. And watching Fenep slowly, cautiously let that in, let himself be known by creatures who had every reason to fear him and chose warmth instead. That's the quiet, beating heart of this whole film. And then Gragon arrives. His father, the large and blustery Gragon, arrives to take him home and decides to conquer Earth himself, which requires taking the animals as prisoners. IMDb. And this is where the movie does something I didn't expect. It doesn't make Gragon simply evil. It makes him a father who built an empire and raised a son, and somewhere along the way, in all the conquering and all the certainty, completely missed who his child actually was. He sees Fenep's gentleness as failure, his kindness as weakness, his friendship with these animals as something embarrassing to be corrected. And Fenep, who has spent his whole life trying to fit the shape his father expected, has to stand in front of that enormous disappointed certainty and say, "This is who I am. These are my friends. And I'm not going to pretend otherwise." That moment. That small, gentle alien standing his ground, not with weapons or power, but with the simple, stubborn fact of himself that got me more than I expected anything in this film to get me. Because the bravest thing Fenep does in this whole movie isn't facing the danger, it's facing his father, and staying exactly himself while doing it. Is this Pixar? No. Young children will enjoy the colorful jungle animal characters and the sweet storyline fandom, and honestly, the animation has a warmth and a specific African landscape quality that is genuinely lovely in places. The comedy is broad and occasionally brilliant. Humph the Hedgehog, who is grumpy because nobody can safely hug him as quietly. One of the funniest running jokes in any animated film I've seen recently. But this isn't trying to be Pixar. It's trying to be warm. And it is. Thoroughly, completely, without a single apology. Warm. Think about the gentlest person you know. The one who was maybe told by a parent, by a community, by the accumulated pressure of everyone around them that their gentleness was a problem, that softness was weakness, that they needed to be harder, louder, more certain, more like the shape everyone had decided was correct. Watch this with them. Not to make a point, not to say anything, just to sit beside them and let a tiny blue alien and a big-hearted elephant say what maybe nobody said loudly enough. The way you are is not a failure. It never was. If this kind of video is your thing, subscribe and stay. I'll always be here finding the warm, true thing inside the bright, loud surface. See you next time.